So, what do you do when you have a really flat pitch on a roof and all the water does not drain off? What you do here is you just make sure that you have a hole right here. That's a relief hole. That way all the rain that builds up on this roof, it's got a place to go down and it can get away, okay? You want to do that kind of across the roof on a couple different places. That way you've got plenty of relief. And obviously, I'm kidding. This is just repurposed tin on a lean-to. So, doing a little add-on here, guys. See there? Whoop, viewed in a little bit too much. Right there to the side of the shop there. I'm going to view out just a little bit. You can see it a little bit better. We just got all the pipes set, and then I put all the pipes on top there. They're still not welded in and they're not pushed forward. I got to get everything pushed forward, adjusted, and you know, put all to length and everything. But we kind of got a little addition there. We're going to do, it's just a lean-to is all it is. We still got to get all of our purlins and our tin on and everything. But it's going to expand a lot of room there. And what it's really doing is it's freeing up space out of the shop, is what it's doing for us, you know. And that's really what it's about, is just giving us a place to park our tractors, maybe even four-wheelers and things like that, that we can park that stuff under there and we ain't got to worry about wasting space in the shop. Well, guys, it's coming along. Got us a little lean-to going on here. A little bit more of a lean-to, I should say. That's the original shop, but we added that lean-to originally just mostly to cover the container there, and then we just came on back in here. But you can tell we broke angle a little bit, and we're adding to a little bit more of a lean-to. So y'all stay tuned. We'll show y'all more of that. We got everything else done so far, and we're just about ready. We've got a few sheets of tin sitting up there. We were working closer towards squaring everything up, and make sure everything was ready. But we're just about ready to start throwing on tin. So we'll show y'all a little update of that once we're done. I wanted to show this here. We got this on this little lean-to that we're putting together here. We're still working on it, just a little at a time. Whenever we get time, I usually have to wait for my wife to come home. But you can see here, we've got two different angles here. This one comes in, like both of these pieces of pipe come together. And the way we did that was pretty simple. We just put this piece of pipe across and then butted it right up against that one and then measured what the gap was on the bottom. And we cut that and it butt together just right. And usually that works pretty good. In this case, it worked absolutely perfectly. Sometimes it's not completely perfect, but worked pretty good in this case. So anyway, guys, y'all stay tuned for the full-length video talking about this new add-on we've got here. And I just kind of wanted to talk about this concrete real quick. What we did here, we made sure that it was fairly close to flush, the concrete, but I like to bring that concrete up just a little above ground level. Now right now this is the piled up dirt that you're looking at. That's the pile of dirt that we had dug out of the hole with the auger. And so currently it looks about flush or maybe a little lower, but to the actual ground level, it's a little bit higher than the actual ground level. And that's something I really like to do. So I like to get my concrete all the way in there, mixed up and everything, just about flush. And then I put a little bit of dry concrete mound up on top, up closer to the post. And I find that that works pretty good for me. I'm not saying it's the right way, but that little bit of dry concrete works out pretty good. So I like that method. It's just my method. I'm not saying it's right. So just wanted to expand a little bit on the concrete thing that I was talking about. One thing I really like to do as well when I'm getting ready to set, just for a pole barn like this or something simple, and well, really even just a post in general, I like to do drill my hole with my auger, and then I like to scrape my dirt back about 9 inches or so all the way around there, and then fill my hole up. And this is if you're using dry concrete like I do in some places, and then mixing it as you go. So I pour the concrete and water together, mix it as I'm going, and then I like to use that extra dirt donut all the way around there, fill that up with a little bit more water, and I find that that works really good because that makes sure that you got plenty of water all the way in there. You won't need to use that method if you used mixed concrete already. We're looking at this lean-to here, this little add-on, and you can tell if I go up here, of course I got a couple of sheets just kind of laying up here right now, but you can look at that string line I got across there. That's just kind of something I like to do. It looks like right now we're blowing in the wind, so that always moves it around, but to me that just really helps as an extra guideline. When I'm laying my tin, helps keep everything square. I got something I can just bump right up to it. So I push the tin, push it all the way forward, and then I'll bring it back and just barely bump it up to that string line. And that just lets me know, first off, am I looking square? If I start getting really out of square, I can pull a tape and check it. But then also it helps me just to keep it looking in a nice straight line. So it just really helps for this kind of thing. So anyway, just wanted to show this real quick. This is this lean-to we're working on. I've got a couple pieces of tin laying there. We got to finish getting it all screwed down and put in. Waiting on my wife to get home before we can get that wrapped up. But I wanted to point this out here. This is a lot flatter spot here. So when we got this flatter spot, we actually added a few more trusses than we would have, and then we added a few more purlins this way. And then also we added a few more posts. And that was just to help beef it up. We don't really get a lot of snow here, but every now and then we do. So we wanted to make sure it was stout enough to be able to hold that load if we did ever have that problem. So anyway, we just put in two more purlins than we would have. So you can see here we're actually using old repurposed tin. That's a lot of what we used in this shop. We did use brand new tin back before the prices got crazy. We used that on the roof and everything of the main shop because we don't want that to ever leak or get wet. But out here is just a lean-to. It's a covering for the tractors and things like that. And a little bit of water, a drip or two here and there is not going to kill us. So what we did there to make sure we can fit underneath, you got to make sure you drop down low enough to where you don't wedge right into it. You've got to actually drop down low enough to where you can tell the two different high ribs, they don't mate. So you just got to take into account for that. And that's kind of how it turned out for us. And I like it. I think it's going to work out good. So thanks.